morning, everybody.
Good morning.
But we have this privilege to say good morning. Right, today is the 8th of November 2025. 12 years back, about little over 10,000 people did not have the privilege to say this. They were struck by a typhoon called Haiyan. It struck the coast of Philippines, and over 6,000 people suffered their fates on that day. This Haiyan is actually named by the Chinese, and it translates to a petrel. A petrel is a seabird, and you would think a bird sings, but this bird screamed 6,200 deaths. Well, that's a piece of history. And you would ask, why am I sharing this? Well, Sun Tzu in his book, The Art of War, said, and I don't know whether this is a real version or not, he said something like, if you don't have a piece of cake to share, then share with your friends and people a piece of history. And that's what I did today. Is there a message to this? Is there a moral? I don't know. Sometimes there is, sometimes you just can't decipher the meaning behind the actions of Mother Nature. But with that out of the way, I will let you know the rules that guide the Toastmasters mission, which is to provide a positive and fun learning experience where you become a better leader, speaker, and listener. Why listener? Well, the first rule of this, to help us achieve this, is to refrain from speaking about religion, politics, and sex. Well, you just want the speech to be palatable to the ears. So that's the first part of the listening. Second is, well, when there is a speaker here, we don't want them distracted by ringing cell phones or chatter. So with that, let us remind ourselves to put our cell phones in silent mode, and those are the rules. Those are the guardrails that any Toastmasters meeting follows. Now, I introduce you to the presiding officer who will start the meeting for today. DTM Sundaram.
Thank you, Mr. Bharat, for that wonderful context setting. Let me declare meeting number 233 open with the sound of the gavel. Actually, when Sergeant Thomas Bharat, when he was trying to tell the rules of the meeting, he was a little contemplating whether to use the word religion or religious. So in fact, one of the debates in Chennai Toastmasters, we had a topic whether to use these taboo topics in Toastmaster or not. So I made a distinction between these three words: sex, religion, and politics. So actually, sex can be discussed because the moment you get into corporate, we talk about posh, right? So how to behave with the other genders, or even sometimes same gender. And we need to be aware of politics because we need to be a good citizen, and we need to be aware of religion because a lot of spiritual stuff is there. But there is a difference between sex and sexy. There is a difference between religion and religious. There is a difference between political and politics and politics. So what we need to avoid is sexy, religious, and politically flavored speeches. So this is to ensure that the meeting goes without hurting the sentiment of others. Otherwise, these three topics are welcome. Toastmaster International has not barred anyone to speak on these topics. So let me invite the guests to introduce themselves. First of all, let me acknowledge the presence of the dignitaries. Distinguished past president, charter member, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Kumar. Past president and about to become distinguished Toastmaster Gopinath. Charter member and distinguished Toastmaster Karthik Mondas. And a very recently joined distinguished Toastmaster Bhattabram. Thank you. Welcome, be seated. So let me seek the guest introduction. I guess we have two guests. So can you introduce yourself? Yeah, please. How did you come to know about Meraki?
Very good morning, everyone. My name is Manikandan. In fact, I am working very closely with DTM Pipes, and we have been together in MTC. And that's one of the reasons why I said let's have it here. We have been coming here regularly. Initially, I was a bit skeptical of coming because getting up in the morning itself is a big challenging task for me. Though I get up in the morning at 5 o'clock, but moving out of the house is a big task for me. I said, let me break that pattern for me so that I could see myself a bit of a different transformation for me, so that I can still come out of house after 6 o'clock. So I made an attempt today and I was able to make it. I said, let me have it, come over here, let me have a look at the meeting, and maybe probably in a month's time I would come back again here.
You are already a Toastmaster.
Yeah. I've been Toastmaster for almost 2 years in 2 different staggered period actually. But Toastmaster is something which has always been there. It has helped me many times, professionally and personally also. So, and I look forward to again continue the journey of Toastmasters.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
So you may be wondering how Meraki is different from other Toastmaster clubs. This booklet will explain all.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Wonderful.
Sir, you.
Hi everyone, this is Saraman. I have been associated with Madras Toastmasters for the last few years. I have been introduced by Pat sir about this Meraki. He told me this is an advanced club and it is full of rich DTMs. I just came to see what's different from our club.
Welcome, sir. I guess we have one more guest. Can you introduce yourself?
So hello everybody, I'm Roshan. I've been a part of the Medley Gable Club where Satish Uncle was the DTM, and I completed my CC and I turned 18, and so I decided to be a part of the club and so on.
How many of you are aware of the term called emotional intelligence? I guess Pat, being a corporate trainer.
Yeah.
I think many of you. Super. So today I'm going to talk about one term that is slightly associated with emotional intelligence. Have you heard about this term called emotional granularity? Okay, emotional granularity is a term coined by this person called Susan David. She was a PhD scholar, and she was saying that basically there are 78 emotions, starting with the anger, happiness, nervousness, right, frustration. So there are basically 7 emotions, and these emotions, whenever you feel that kind of emotion, if you say that I am angry, I am happy, that should not be sufficient. You have to tell why you are happy, why you are angry, and a lot of related words are there. So you have to say that I am so excited to come for a meeting that starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. So that is helping me to come out of the comfort zone, right? So you have to use such kind of words. So the emotional granularity help us to have self-awareness, number one, and it is also empathizing with some other person. So for example, if you are talking to one of the team members, if you are upset, you have to tell them why you are upset with that person. That will also help them to understand why you are upset. Third one is, it is also bring clarity to our communication. So both the sender and receiver in a communication. So actually, in Western countries, there is a term called raising a toast. Right? Raising a toast, a person, the master of ceremony will raise the glass with the primarily wine, and then he will speak in praise of the hero and heroine of the day. For example, in a wedding, the couple, or if it is a award ceremony, the award winner. So here, all he has to do is to speak for 2 to 3 minutes and with a lot of emotion. He cannot simply say, raise your toast. No, that is not sufficient. That is when a gentleman called Dr. Rolf Medley felt that people are not comfortable enough to express themselves even for 2 minutes. Where in USA, where the primary language is English, right? Most of the time in India we say, no, my mother tongue is not English, my mother tongue is Tamil or Hindi or Telugu. He felt the need of such kind of communication where the English is the primary language, and that is the reason he started this movement called Toastmasters almost 101 years back, and with all kind of struggles for almost 10 years he started the movement, and today this movement is prevalent in more than 150 countries, and so many people are being a member in Toastmasters, and we all share this kind of fraternity, and we feel comfortable because this platform provides a non-intimidating platform. So whoever comes, whether a fresher, a guest, or even a seasoned Toastmaster, whenever he comes, even if he fumbles, no people are encouraging by applauding. So that is the reason people keep coming. And in fact, personally, I am continuing my 16th, 17th year journey in Toastmasters. So because of the reason that I love the companionship of like-minded people. So with that note, we will get into the proceedings. Before that, I guess we have one more guest. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, sir. Hi, myself Nasir.
Can you come here and introduce yourself?
So hi friends. Good morning. So myself Nasir. I'm in industry for last 22 years. I had operations in Tamil Nadu. So I joined Suganya. I was born and brought up in Chennai. I did my graduations and post graduations everything in Chennai. And I have I'm married and I have 2 kids. So that's it about me.
That's a great thing.
Thank you. So anything else? Thank you.
Thank you so much. So go through this booklet while the meeting is
Thank
on.
you.
That gives a lot of details about Meraki. And I'm so happy that the members started bringing more guests, and very soon we will have almost 30-40 members, and every meeting we will have at least 20 people meeting, the role players and speakers. So let me get into the meeting. So every Toastmaster meeting is conducted by one of our members called Toastmaster of the Day. Basically, this person will be anchoring the entire session, and sometimes he or she may bring a theme so that the meeting is going with a lot of energy and all people are in alignment. So today, this wonderful person is our past president, and he has been in the insurance industry. Not only that, he has been a trainer. So basically, being a trainer now, he is comfortable in speaking in front of people, and even today he comes with, he is elder than me, but still always he is having agility and enthusiasm, and most of the time he will be here before 6:45 on every alternate Saturday morning. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Gopinath. You are Toastmaster.
Good morning and thank you very much, sir. Very good morning to everybody.
Very good morning.
Thank you very much for the energy. So today I'm going to play the role of the Toastmaster of the day, and the theme of the day is going to be the best brand. That's what I've chosen the theme as. When I say the best brand, what comes to your mind immediately? Karthik. Unique and beautiful, yeah. Tata's. Anything else?
Popularity, famous.
Popularity, famous. You're a trainer, that's why you're talking differently. Trust. Wow. Another person coming out with another something new. I was thinking somebody will say Meraki. I was expecting probably Karthik slightly missed it. So he was focusing him first. Anyway, that's what. My focus is naturally what it narrows down to what Karthik started off. I'm going to talk about Merakis, each and every one of us. I feel that when we say we are the advanced Toastmasters, one of the best advanced Toastmaster club in Tamil Nadu, how to be the best? We are already the best, but still, I feel there's plenty of scope for us. Plenty of scope for us. And today I just little bit of driving that point. That's what I'm just focusing on. So when you come on stage, when you have the next opportunity, try to focus how best you are as a Toastmaster and how best you would like to be as a Toastmaster here in India. That's what is my entire idea is. Right? So how to be the best? One simple tip is to start off. A simple smile will take us a long way, which we unknowingly will do. I remember actually long back, maybe around 15 years back or so, I never knew that I have a smiling face. I never knew. But I was attending a program on a Sunday, whole day program. During the tea break, two guys came along and told, "Sir, you have a smiling face." That was the first time I came to know that I have a smiling face. Oh, good. So it's nice to know somebody says that, observes and says that I have a smiling face. That smiling face, now that particular thing which has gone into me 20 years back, still provides lots and lots of energy, unknowingly. Like, no, it's a simple word. So I thought I will start off with a smile. So that's why we'll go on, like, simple things which we know, which we think we know, but we don't follow. And sometimes we also follow, but that small trigger, which happened for me around 20 years back, which keeps that fire burning inside me every time. Not only as a Toastmaster, even when I step outside also, wherever I go, I spread this. That's how I continue to be an energetic person at the age of only 45 or so. In fact, actually 2 years back, I always tell that I'm only 35. Now I cannot keep on telling that lies. But still, the idea is, let's keep that energy flowing. Let's keep the smile brighter and brighter. Fine? Coming to Toastmasters, every Toastmasters has 3 segments, but in Meraki we have a little more different. We have 4 sections. One is the management book review, which is special to, unique to Meraki. Of course, I've seen a lot of people in other clubs also started following. The next one is the usual prepared speeches, and the third one is the table topics, and finally it's a general evaluation. So today, to start off the meeting, first we have the general evaluator. It's my duty to introduce the general evaluator. Today's general evaluator is a very enthusiastic person. In fact, he has joined Toastmasters Meraki recently, but I could see that enthusiasm in him, that burning fire in him, because he starts off his work 2 days, 3 days in advance. That's what I feel. As a general evaluator, one should start that observation 2 days, 3 days in advance. And I could see him emerging as a fantastic Toastmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for General Evaluator Toastmaster Suresh.
Good morning all. Good morning fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a general evaluator, my roles and responsibilities is to observe the complete meeting and to start from then and to provide a proper report on the pros and cons what have been observed throughout the meeting. And to support the meeting, and I also have a tag team. Timer first, Toastmaster Bharat. So who started the meeting very nicely today?
So I am the timer for today's meeting. They say time and tide waits for no one. Well, the timer does wait for you. Perhaps not the time, but the timer definitely does wait for you. I'll be waiting with these 3 cards: green, yellow, and red cards. We have 4 types of speeches today. One is a management book review, one is a prepared speech, table topics, and evaluations. For the management book review and the prepared speeches, the allotted time is 5 to 7 minutes with 30 seconds grace on either side. For the table topics, it's 1 to 2 minutes with 30-second grace on the higher side. And for the evaluations, it is 2 to 3 minutes with 30 seconds grace on either side. At the midpoints of these, which is at the start of the allotted time, I will show you green, which is at 5 minutes, 1 minute, and then 2 minutes. At the midpoints, I will show you the yellow, which is at 6 minutes, 1.5 minutes, and then 2.5 minutes. And when the end of the time, allotted time, I'll keep showing you the red until you complete the speech. And at the end of the meeting, I will share my report with you. Thank you.
Let me call upon another key role who is off counter Srividya.
down all the filler words used by speakers, and also I'm going to be noting down purposeful uses of pauses and purposeful use of filler words as well.
And now comes one of the key role, so where we can learn and correct many of our procedures and grammars that we use in our today's Renan Martin is grammarian Anirudh. To give a small intro, he is a CTO of a startup of the organization named FinTech, and he is a district Toastmaster chairperson 120.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. And yes, as the grammarian, it is my responsibility to note down the not so good usages and the good usages of English words so that we can improve collectively from each other. I'll be presenting the grammarian report when called upon by the general evaluator. I'll be explaining a little more about the role. But one more interesting thing that I get to do as the grammarian for today is introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is slightly complicated. It's long.
Yes.
It is anthropomorphize. But I'll help you understand it by breaking it down into three parts. Anthropos means human beings. Morphize or morph generally means form or shape, and the verb aspect of the word is the eyes aspect. So to give it a human form or a human shape. Today the theme being about brands. What do you think of when I say Amul? You immediately think of Amul girl, right? When I say Air India, you think of Maharaja. Those are some ways where you can give inanimate objects or brands a human face to them, some attributes. When you say Air India is Maharaja, you imply a lot of regality, the feeling that you get when you travel. So it can be even animals, the most famous being Mickey Mouse. How can a mouse stand up in two legs and wear shorts? That is what Walt Disney imagined. So as human beings, we anthropomorphize a lot, where we give human attributes to a lot of inanimate objects or animals for us to help understand or pass across the message better. If I recommend all of you use the word of the day, anthropomorphize in your speeches. I request anthropomorphize. ANTHROPO, anthropo, MORPH, and ISE or IZE depending on how you say it. So this is very common in branding that we see often, where we give human attributes, or generally for children's stories, cartoon characters, we give a lot of human emotions. You might see four-wheelers giving eyes and nose and whatever, giving so that you can describe how the feeling in a much better manner. As human beings, we like to do that. If you use the word of the day, I request everyone in the audience to applaud so that as acknowledgement for using the word of the day. I'll be presenting my the grammarian report when called upon by the general evaluator. Back to the general evaluator.
Let me call back PM Modi Gopinath.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great. So I never thought when I thought about this theme of the day, the best brand, I never thought such a word of the day would come. Fantastic, super. Thank you very much. I think he deserves one more round of applause, even before he can give a report. Fine. So now it prompts me to talk about a little about the branding. So when I talk about the best branding about Meraki, that's what I was just thinking. I thought since our presiding officer also has laid down the foundation, stating that we can talk sexy, sex but not sexy, like no. So what do you think is the best brand which can give for our lips? Not that beautiful coloring. Huh? About that? Beyond that?
Keep your motion.
That's for men, I think. Inside the house. Other than beyond that, speak the truth. When you say, particularly when you commit something, come what may, ensure that that commitment is carried out. That is what today I just want to drive for all of us. So that next time, ensure that don't refrain from committing. Do commit. Come forward. Do commit. That's how you take things forward. That's how we grow. But when you commit, ensure that at any cost, unless otherwise something, unless heavens fall, like, no. In the sense, I mean something very urgently comes, unavoidable things comes. Otherwise, ensure that you keep up that commitment, because we come across, like, every now and then. That's the area where, not only in Toastmasters, everywhere, wherever outside Toastmasters also, this is where things keep falling short. So ensure that that can be the best brand one can give for your own lips. With that, we'll go on to the next segment, which is called the unique for Meraki, the management book review. Today's management book review is going to be done by another budding Toastmaster. He is already into us, and every now and then he has not only written a book. To support that journey of writing that book, you can see him grabbing the opportunity of giving a management book review. Giving a management book review definitely is not that easy, because you have to read and come and share whatever is there in that book. But I have seen him once in alternative meetings, he comes here and gives management book review. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster
What is the one thing, topic smile, what is the one thing you can do such that by doing that, other things, every other thing become easier or unnecessary? This one question changed my entire way of doing my business. Earlier, I was not able to focus on many things. That's when I came to know about this book. This changed how I run my business. Good morning, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Few years ago, I was juggling with multiple things. I was in a corporate job. I was doing two businesses at a time. One is doing healthy product manufacturing and doing health coaching. Even in that healthy product manufacturing, I was doing retail, wholesale. In health coaching, I was doing one-to-one coaching, group coaching, corporate paid workshops. I was not getting any time. I was not able to deliver clients' requirement on time. I was totally stressed. That's when I came to know about this book, One Thing, by Gary Heller and Jay Patterson. In this book, three big ideas I got from this book. First idea is success is built sequentially, not doing simultaneously. We think that we have to do everything well, but we have to pick up one thing that is the right thing to start first. This changed everything, the way I did business, right? I delegated my manufacturing business to somebody else. I resigned my corporate job. I started with choosing one business, health coaching. Even in this business, I offered one-to-one coaching, and I targeted only IT professionals. That way, I was able to focus on many other things. I was able to sign up dream clients. I was able to provide quality of coaching to my clients. I was also able to write my book. I was able to grow my business as well. So, how about thinking of one thing in your life that can chain trigger reaction with the other things? It could be blocking your focus time, or saying no to certain things which doesn't matter to you, or delegating certain tasks. Second big idea I got from this book is multitasking is the life. How many of you here have attended the meeting by scrolling your WhatsApp or scrolling the Instagram or replying to a mail or having lunch. It could be online meeting or it could be a physical meeting. It happens frequently specifically in IT world, right? I don't think we have to do everything at once, right? Again, we have to pick up the right thing and do one thing first. See, what I was doing is earlier I was doing many, focusing on many things. I stopped doing many things and picked up one thing that can impact me well. Second big idea I got from this book is the focused question. The focus question that I was mentioning earlier. Right? What is that one thing that you can do such that by doing that everything else become very easier? It could be on your role, work role, or it could be on how to grow your business, or it could be even in Meraki, right? So one speech that can change every thing. So to close this, I don't think you need to do everything at once. Pick up one thing that can change everything else. And again, success doesn't come from doing everything well, right? You don't need to do everything well to become success. You can pick up one thing that can give you a success and it can impact positively in the other areas. So for me, what is most important I learned from this book is create a repeatable system. One repeatable system or to change one of your life, then scale up. That's what exactly I did in my business as well, right? So once I started focusing on health coaching, once I stabilized that, I started to scale up by getting into corporate workshop, free corporate workshop, so that it feeds leads from that corporate workshop feeds into my health coaching. Okay, so yeah, in the world of doing more things, success comes from doing less, but focused, giving focused attention to that less thing that you are doing. And by doing one thing, everything can fall in place. Thank you.
It was one thing by Gary Keller, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
The author is Gary Keller, I believe. Yeah. In fact, I was just texting one of our colleague, one of our Toastmaster member. He was asking for some doubt. Then I texted him. You know the story of cow and coconut tree? So as a good orator, write something, decide something, but finally have the knack of tying the cow, the string of the cow with the coconut tree. That's how we manage. So I think today we have had a wonderful book review, and I think we need some more, much more clarity from the book. Probably next time when you come over to do that, much more clarity from the book. Fine, thank you very much. We move on to the next session, which is the prepared speech section. To do the first prepared, to give the first prepared speech, we have Toastmaster Suganya. Suganya is a person who brings lots and lots of variety in her body language. Because she being a dancer, she brings the best in body language. She's she sets an example for how best one can convey messages through proper movement of body. Before I could call her, let me call her evaluator Toastmaster Hemalata to read out the project objectives.
Morning everyone.
Morning.
Today Suganya will be presenting her level 1, her project is evaluation and feedback. The purpose of the speech is to practice applying feedback and serve a speech evaluator during the club meeting. In her first speech, she was actually rushing for the conclusion. And so her conclusion was abrupt and it was not up to the mark. And she had a constant body movement. She was like moving always during her speech. And she was also using the word you know overall in the complete speech. So she'll avoid all that and she'll apply this feedback and she'll be giving the same speech today, her second speech. So her speech will be well-organized speech and incorporate the feedback from the previous speech evaluation. She can give the same speech, a revision, first evaluation and the feedback speech. Thank you. Over to you, Gopi.
Put your hands together for Toastmaster Suganya. The best chronicles how the tiny tract grew up. The best chronicles how the tiny tract grew up. Toastmaster Suganya.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. A few weeks back, I spoke about my bratty things during my childhood, be it planning the escape route with my brother. Even now he's my partner in crime, just to give you a quick thing about that. I always had this fondness for raw milk. So my mom used to think as like, what happened, like, why this milk packet is always pierced and the milk is always dripping. I would always say like, mom, it should be the cat. But someday, eventually, whoever makes a mistake, they'll have to pay the price, right? So one day I got red-handed and it followed by these scoldings and beatings. So that was one of the incidents, and the other major incident was biting a friend. So this happened when I was in 4th grade. So there was a little fight for the window seat. So I'm someone who's like, will never leave a fight if it comes in, like, people take on you. I never leave that from my childhood. So what started as a normal fight, like, ended up, fiercely. She pinched me, I bit her, and like, a lot of drama around that. So today, I want to reflect on whatever happened in my childhood. Of course, had its own ups and downs. But what I'm today is majorly because of my childhood memories and the corrections, the due course of things that happened during the childhood. So today I stand in front of you as a bold, courageous woman. So coming back to the incident of biting that friend, right? So that was the situation. I'm having a conversation with my principal. She said, Suganya, ask sorry right now and you mean it. So come on, I mean, like, she only started end of the day. It all just happened and like I had to bite her, right? So just to escape the situation and save myself not getting the TC, I just said like, I'm sorry Priscilla, I will not repeat it again. But I did not really mean it, okay? Then time passed. Of course, like, you will have to pay the price for your being a defaulter, right? I mean, like, if you make a mistake, you will have to be grounded for that. So the whole year, I was made to sit next to my teacher, class teacher. So that is the punishment I received. Sometime later, I mean, Priscilla, she came, I mean, the person who I bit, right? So she came and smiled and said like, hey, that's okay, come on, we are friends. So that's when I realized nobody becomes small or weak, when you go and say sorry to someone. In fact, it gives you a lot of peace, inner peace. So that's one thing. And like I was picking up a lot of fight and, just for the window seat, right, to safeguard the window seat. But now, as an adult, right, being very bold in taking initiatives and things, I speak up for people who couldn't raise their voice. So that's something I feel, the person that I've evolved all these years. And now, if I think back, right, like fighting for a window seat and now speaking up for people to get a seat in their table. So that's, being an HR professional. So I've come a long way. And even I mean, like, okay, whatever happened in terms of being a mischievous, naughty person, naughty girl, a tiny tyrant, being a brat, picking up fights and everything, that is completely fine. But how the evolution happened, that what matters is what I personally feel. Even now, my neighbor auntie would say like to her daughter, hey, you should be like that Akka, see, look at her, how she talks, I mean, she's very bold, courageous, you should be like that. And you should look at my parents' eyes gleaming with such pride. And even my brother would be, a lot of times he would tell me that he's very proud about me, and he even goes and tells his friends like, hey, don't mess with my sister, my Akka, she's one Swarna Kada. That's the thing that comes up always. So personally, all these experiences put together, I would say in fact anthropomorphized best qualities in me, being bold, courageous, upfront. I mean, whatever it is, you have to be straightforward. So that's something I also identify, being my brand, calling like a bold, courageous person. So that's about it. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
That's a transformation of Suganya.
Thank you so much.
Suganya Akka. Good transformation, and that's what is the best brand I have been having in mind. Be the best, do the best, and you will be the best. That's it. Moving on, we have the next speech. For the next speech, we have a slight modification in today's agenda. Like as a evaluator for today's speech, second speech will be Toastmaster Pattabhiraman, and he will be doing the evaluation immediately after
After all the prepared speeches.
After all the prepared speeches are over, so that he will like to. He has another program and he wants to rush out. So immediately after the prepared speech is over, he'll be called. So the next speaker will be Toastmaster Vinnavan. Toastmaster Vinnavan. Before I could call Vinnavan, let me call his evaluator, Toastmaster Pattabhiraman. Toastmaster Pattabhiraman is a veteran in Toastmasters who has attended more than thousands of meetings, particularly evaluations, master evaluator, more than 400 plus evaluations. He's a club sponsor, president, anything in Toastmasters, he has been, he has seen it all, and it's for us to see him now.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Toastmaster Vinnavan is going to deliver his project from the path Dynamic Leadership Level 2 project work, Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring, wherein he will clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring, and he will also use this opportunity to share one of his previous experiences as a protege. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Vinnavan. Back to
Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Vinnavan. The Guru, Toastmaster Vinnavan.
I'm not a guru.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me start from this. So I hear this from a TED talk. So this person is a doctor. So he started like why all sports players have a coach but not into technical professionals or into doctors specifically. So imagine I'm consulting a doctor because of stomach pain, and he is scanning my stomach and giving the report. Oh, this is because of reason A. And a wise man next to him says, hey, you, it's because of reason B. How would I feel? Would I thought of visiting him again? Well, he explains it's like, so there is a purpose for having a mentor or a coach in a professional or in a field that we like to grow. So as in Toastmasters, we have a pathway and we have a base camp and how to how to make a speech script. So that also we have the content. So why can't I just simply make a speech and I can deliver? Why still I need a mentor? Well, I'm talking and communicating about 35 years, and still I want to improve the communication. So how could I do that? So by practicing, right? So I keep on doing something repeatedly. What I'm being end up is I'm constantly running on a loop. There is no end. How to came out of that? That is why the need of a mentor. So we need a third person view, that perspective, so that I can never get if I keep on running in a constant loop. So this person knows what I am trying to come out of myself and break the loop and drag me out of it. So this is the person guru, mentor. So that's all that we all need in as well as in professional and personal life to break the loop what we are struggling with. And to say with an example, when I'm taking a role in or giving a speech, I would be focusing on the key parts that I'm supposed to deliver. But if I'm approaching my mentor and asking for how I can deal this better, so this another dimension view, how it works like, it's like other person, how the audience supposed to see me and how they like to see me. So that's a different catch point to address and need to observe it. So it's not about how I am doing it, how others see me. So it's the real point the mentor brings into it, and it goes well. Continuing further, who can be the mentor? So it's like I'm picking up a person in Toastmasters and he can guide me, and I can take input from him, and I can keep on adding something. So is it like that, or I can go anyone and get the inputs and get the value addition to me? So it's open to everyone, like, so it's open to everyone. I can get help in Toastmasters, not only it's limited to my mentor or my friends here in the club, or I can reach out to other club as well. So here is everyone is guru and everyone is a mentor and everyone is a mentee. So I can reach anyone and anyone can reach me. Even if I am being a mentor and guiding another Toastmaster also, I'm learning how to guide another person to reaching his goal. So that is how I see mentoring is so special in Toastmasters. Thank you.
Vinnavan means person who reaches the sky, always, even anything. Am I right, Vinnavan? One kind of a meaning, probably, like, that's what immediately. So Vinnavan, the moment when we think about Vinnavan, okay, a person who can win, that's an English thing, but who can always reaches the sky. So let us wish him to reach sky whenever you take the next step forward, not only in Toastmasters, in every other. But in Toastmasters, that's what we keep learning. That's what we keep learning. Because every time when we prepare for Toastmasters, internally our mind prepares for something best outside Toastmasters also. As a father, as a husband, as a whatever role you play, wherever you are. Right? Now coming to the movement of the next speech. Have you heard a general evaluator citing from the experiences of learnings which he has got from his grandfather? That was here, it happened here in Meraki, beautifully aligned with lessons learned from his grandfather and how he beautifully used it in the flow of being a general evaluator. That is what the third speaker, Toastmaster Arvind, did. And today he is going to give you a wonderful speech. But before I could call him, let me call this general is evaluated Toastmaster Sundararaman to read out the project.
Friends and Toastmasters and guest today, Toastmaster Arvind Raja is delivering a project from the path called Persuasive Influence, Level 3, titled Connecting the Dots. His project has got two purpose statements. The very first purpose statement is, the purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. Second objective, the purpose of the speech is for the member to inspire the audience. What is the difference between first and second?
Both are same. Looks like same.
Looks like same, right? I guess the second one is, so the first one is attempting to prepare your script and deliver it. Second one is talking about the proof point. So probably at the end of the meeting, he has to go and check with all the people whether the audience got inspired. So I think everything boils down to inspiration. Basically, it is going to be an inspiration speech. All the best, Toastmaster Arvind Raja. Over to you.
Thank you very much, and it's now, let's hear from the experience of Toastmaster. Connecting the dots. Toastmaster Arvind, connecting the dots.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Morning.
January 2023, I almost quit my job after a brutal review with my global controller. Myself and my boss was representing Asia Pacific region, and we were in front of the global controller. She asked lot of tough questions. This has become a monthly routine for about a year. Despite lot of preparations, we end up sitting like two dumb students without knowing the question papers. And this has increased my stress too much that I've lost a lot of weight. I couldn't concentrate on my family, I couldn't concentrate on my kids. It was like, I was so tired, I was thinking, should I quit this job and start a cafe like most of the other professionals think. That's when I thought I should take a pause and see what could have been better. To give you a context, I worked for an American company for about 12 years. Every 2 years we had to rotate out and join a new role. So in 2022, I took a role in material cost reporting. That's when the peak of after effects of COVID was happening. You might have heard of chip shortages, shipping non-availability of shipping lines. Everything related to cost, materials have gone up to the roof. Despite lot of budgetary controls, despite lot of tough reviews with our operational counterparts, we were not able to do real improvement in the material cost. At the end of 2022, I got a rating of inconsistent rating. That's when my stress peaked. I couldn't tolerate this anymore. I was literally in shambles. Then I decided to take a step back. I thought, what could have been different? What could I have done differently? That's when I realized I could have done two things differently. One, understanding the global context. Since I was from, we always try to represent what we know the best. If you look at our globally, Asia Pacific region as such is very efficient. We sometimes are actually better than even our global counterparts of North America and Europe. So we always try to go and say, okay, we have done this better, we have done this better. But we miss the global, in a global company. We miss to see, as a global controller, she was interested to look at things globally. She was not, like, because Asia was only 10% of the global cost. So she was not interested to understand only 10%. She was trying to look at what the entire 100% looks like. So that's when I thought we missed it. Only after about a year of tough reviews, at least I got the message that don't be in your small regional view. Start looking at the global view, because that's what it matters for the global controller. The next important thing is, don't take things personally. After the 2022 ratings, I took it so personal. It was very personal for me. But then, nothing was in our control. Despite whatever best efforts we could take, Material cost is something like if there is a COVID and if the effects of COVID was going to linger for 3 years, nobody could have changed it. It took time for me to realize you cannot change all things. When I was always in top 10-20%, starting from my childhood academics or in corporates, I was always a top achiever. So naturally you think you are the best brand, but sometimes you will have to think you cannot be the best because there are other factors. You will have to live with the way the entire things are there. So this performance ratings, I shouldn't have taken it personally because there are other factors to it. There are other factors attached. So that's when I realized maybe I should have done it better. There was this Steve Jobs 2005 Stanford commencement address, connecting the dots. Steve Jobs said, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can connect the dots only by looking backwards. Now, when I look backwards, I think those tough reviews helped me to ground myself, helped me to understand you should always look at how things can operate globally. You should don't take things personally. There are other things outside of your control. So keep things open, be normal. Now, if there is any challenge, I see that as a dot. I know that these dots would eventually connect, but not in the way you expect to. TMOD, how do you connect the dots?
Connecting the dots and wonderful context of connecting the dots. Fantastic, super. And I never knew that. That's a secret of one of the secret of being so thin is also the stress he has carried on all along. It's always better, like how to get rid of stress. We know, but when it comes, that is what my stress is for today's meeting. All we know, but we don't follow. So next time when there is an opportunity, think about this simple thing: how to do best, how to be the best. The next speech is going to be done by another best person, a brand ambassador of Meraki. Wherever within District 120, talk about Meraki, immediately the first person, the name which spring out will be this person's name. And before I could call this champion, there is a champion evaluator for him, distinguished Toastmaster Karthik Mohandas, who will read out the project objectives.
Thank you so much, Gopinath. The project objective is pretty same. Write, practicing, and inspire the audience and go and check whether I inspired or not. So there is nothing difference. Only difference is he is doing his project from presentation mastery, here dynamic leadership, and level 3, and this is level 5. And Satish is going to deliver and I am going to evaluate. So this is the change. Objective is the same.
Thank you very much. And all along I have been thinking is Satish, but today he has turned out to be Uncle Satish, because we have a Meraki gavel member. Put your hands together for distinguished Toastmasters Satish. Departure to arrival, the China man. I also forgot to tell that he's our China man. Departure to arrival, distinguished Toastmasters Satish.
We all take flights in our life. Some are in the skies, for others through emotions. This is one of the journey where I found the most important landings are not happen on the runways. It happens in our heart. This was a day I had a very tough conversation in an early morning rainy day with the love of my life. There was no hugs, no apologies. The sharp words overtook and there were colder silences. But after all this conversation, I decided to take pride over the love. I walked into the airport. I was carrying boarding pass in my hand and heavy baggage in my heart. Good morning, miraculous and wonderful guest. Today, I'm going to talk about this journey of departure to arrival. When I walked into the airport, I saw there are beautiful things happening in the departure gate. There was a father who was handing over the passport to his son and making a simple word whispering in his ears, take care. He might be trying to hide his whole emotions, and words were silence. I saw there was a mother adjusting the collar of her daughter's shirt for the nth time, and she's trying to send a message that she's going to chase the biggest dream of her life. Finally, I found there were a couple clamping their hands. There was no words, absolute silence. They were trying to pass on the message. They are thinking, or I thought they thought, the love, what they are going to miss through the distance. After I saw all of them, the scenario in the departure gate was very, very powerful and happy, whereas I was standing there with a petty argument in the morning before I took my flight. Silently, I went into the aircraft, sat by the window and looking at the nothingness. The moment flight started, as usual, the turbulence started in. I was not worried about the fear of the aircraft get crashed, but as I was so much worried whether I will get an opportunity to say that important word to the love of my life. Everybody think that airports are a place where they just send off. For me, that day I thought it is not just a send off. They were transporting the love for the distance what they miss. After all the settled down and the flight landed, the very first thing I did when they allowed the phones to be switched on, there was no delay, no thinking second time. I just picked up my phone, called my wife and I said, I'm sorry. No delays, nothing. When I was coming outside of this airport, when I was moving from the aircraft to the arrival gate, I saw something else happening. They are not just waiting for the people to arrive. I saw they are waiting for the loved ones. I saw there was a parent, they were waiting with the flowers and sweets to welcome their daughter. The moment she arrived, they didn't just welcome her, they embraced her, and they realized that one missing puzzle of their life has arrived. The other side, I saw a little boy with a handwritten placard saying, welcome home daddy. The moment he saw his father, he jumped into him and clinched to his arm. There was no words, nothing happening. It was an absolute silence. After I saw this departures and arrival finally, I thought, what did this simple journey from the departure to arrival taught me? In life, we always have plenty of arguments, misunderstandings. Nothing matters when it comes to the loved ones. I thought when you have to take a call to say sorry, just say it. There is no need of a waiting time. I thought that we should choose the forgiveness over the friction. We should choose love over the ego. If everything goes well, it goes well. It didn't, you will not have an opportunity to come back and recorrect it. At the end, it is not about who is right in that particular situation or a moment. It is more about who is waiting for you at the arrival gate, arms wide open with love.
A perfect landing happens in your heart. Wonderful analogy. I never thought, when I thought about the best brands, I never thought the best brand for the heart can be love. No doubt. Absolutely fantastic piece of information today. So next time, probably every one of us will have plenty of opportunity to show this when you talk to your friends, when you move along in your life. Carry that love. That love which you carry in your heart, which you pour it out, will lift us up in every moment possible. And we can always be moving towards the best, right? Now, as told, like we have the evaluator for the second speech. Let me call it Toastmaster Patadi Raman for. Before that, I will request all of you to move for the best speaker. Timer, are all the speakers qualified? Timers?
No.
We had 4 speeches
We had
today.
4 speakers. Vinavan is not qualified.
Oh.
The qualified speakers are PM Suganya, PM Raja, and DTM Satish.
Okay. Vote between these three, Suganya, Arvind Raja and DTM Satish Babu. I believe the voting slips has already reached every one of you. It's just coming. So meanwhile, let's hear the evaluation for the second speech, Toastmaster 11th speech. Over to Toastmaster. Distinguished Toastmaster Bhattacharya. Yeah.
Normally G calls, but as a change today.
Yeah.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow members, honored guest, and Toastmaster winner. A speech turns sensible and relevant and wins audience's attention when it is packed with the content, the 4 C's out of 7 C's I'm talking about: content, clarity, coherence, and courtesy. So this you have packed, therefore it has won the audience's attention. Please accept my compliments for this accomplishment. A question to begin with. Coaches, mentors are found in sports, but not in many other avenues. That piqued the audience's curiosity, and that established a relatability, you being as a speaker with the audience. The purpose of a mentor is to break down the boredom of routines and repeats. Mentor aids us, guides us, and opens the doors to new methods, patterns, and phenomena. That was clearly defined by you. That is what the project also demands. That divulged your anthropomorphic attitude of mentor-mentee relationship. I am impressed. You aptly refer to the Toastmasters Forum as a treasure house of mentors, mentees, constant mentoring and mentorship. So we are surrounded by such a wonderful feeling that can be a beacon for the guests whosoever have come to become and take up membership. This ensured memorability in the minds of both audience as well as guests. These are the merits of your speech. Areas of improvement where you can focus on to make your speeches, future speeches to higher level. A personal illustration always produces credibility and conviction to the audience. Probably that's what the demand, the project also wants. To recall one experience, a previous experience, and how that mentorship has impacted you, that could have been conveyed. And that will give you the credibility and conviction to the audience, number one. And you stuck to one place. Toastmasters is one forum that allows the luxury of stage movement that you could have. Therefore, you are able to cover all the members of the audience. And a speech gets supplemented and complemented when the body signals accompany. So that area you can focus on for your future projects. And equally important is the vocal variety or tonal variation, which we call rising tone, falling tone, or fall and rise. So if you can employ these few recommendations in your future projects, I am sure you can proceed with progress, exceed with effectiveness, and succeed with lovely speeches. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Tips for exceeding and succeeding. Fine. Let's move on with the program of the day, and the next program which we have is T20 of Toastmasters. I would call it the T20 of Toastmasters. The table topics where each and every one of us present here will be getting an opportunity to come forward and go that extra mile, take that step forward. To do this, which we call the table topics, we have a very wonderful Toastmaster, a very budding Toastmaster who has a smile as a brand, and you can see her smiling face. Put your hands together for Toastmaster Durga Devi. The table topics for today's program. Smiling Durga Devi.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today's table topic is all about brands and human behavior. Think about it. Brands aren't just logos or products. They have personalities, values, emotions, just like people. So for the next few minutes, I will give you a brand. You will talk about it as if it were a person. Basically, we will be anthropomorphizing the brand, or reflect on how people relate to it, or even imagine yourself as a brand. Be creative, have fun, and think about the human side of a brand. And okay, so who would like to come first?
Please call one non-role player and non-speaker who has not taken any
Yes.
role.
Priya.
Okay, I'm going to give you a very popular brand, Apple. If Apple were a person, how would it behave at a party? If Apple was a person, how would it behave in a party? Party.
Happy morning, everyone. It is always a tough job for me to imagine something and then to speak. So I would rather speak something about the Apple product that I had. So if Apple were something, how would it behave at a party? What Apple had done for my nephews is like, the moment they see Apple, they say, Chitty, Chitty, it is an apple. So what? It is an apple. Nobody else can have it. If you have apple, it is very precious. So that's the kind of feel that Steve Jobs have left within people. Even the small kids, they do not even know what it is all about. And when I request my nephews, if they can get good marks and get him something, he'll be like, I want to have an iPhone 14. You know what a feel it is. And one day he was holding an iPhone, and I was asking him, can you please give it to me? He said, what do you think? This is an iPhone. It cannot be given to anybody. What if you just leave it like how you leave your mobile? I'm like, it's okay, nothing will happen. I will get you another phone. No, it is not about getting another phone. Apple, it has got its own product. If I'm going to give it to you and if you're going to leave a scratch, I cannot let that happen. You are very careless. And I am like, oh my God, they believe in a product. So that's the kind of feel that Steve Jobs have left about. So it's not about the Apple, or it's not about some product. It's about the feel that we get, or it's the impression that has been formed in the younger minds as well as in all the people. So if Apple were something in a party, it will leave a strong impact in all the minds.
Okay, so who would like to go next?
I'm sorry.
You can call tag role players or guest.
Guest.
Nasir, so the brand I'm going to give you is Nike.
Louder, please.
Okay, the brand I'm going to give you is Nike.
Nike.
So Nike says, just do it.
Okay.
What would you want, Nike as a coach or a mentor?
Okay. So hello once again, friends. Hi. So Nike, go just do it. I would say being mentor and mentee both in the same process of learning things. Being mentee, it always takes that yes, we learn something from our mentors and what they have learned, and it is all about taking it from the mentors. And for mentors, it is like yes, learning things in terms of handling mentee, and in terms of delivering things, it also calls a lot of things. So it is just do it for both people, and I'm so sorry. It's okay. So it is, because I'm stuck with the word what he said actually. I'm so sorry.
Anthropomorphize.
Anthropomorphize. Okay. Because this is the very first time that I've ever heard this in my entire life. I myself is a speaker. Okay. So just what for mentee, it is they have their own pressures of doing things, and they really in need of yes learning things and delivering things. And when it is to do with mentors, even they have the same kind of mindset. Yes, we'll have to make them do it, and that's what it is. Basically, I think. I'm sorry, I'm not into that kind of things. I was not prepared for it. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
Okay, next I'd like to call Harry. Okay, the brand I'm going to give you is a very popular brand, Coca-Cola.
Giving something very tough here.
It's fine.
I'm from Northwest.
How would this brand comfort or inspire people if it were a human? How would this brand comfort or inspire people if it was a human?
If it was a human.
If it was a human.
Good morning once again, fellow Toastmasters. I find the topic to be interesting because the table topic master creatively thought of how brands can be human. I think I've heard of this before. So I will clarify once again what it means to be human. For a brand to be human, you generally pictorially represent, right? A brand is an inanimate object. One of the famous things that most of us know Coca-Cola for, at least way back in the 90s, were the ads. A lot of different features, celebrities, or the polar bear ad, if I'm not sure many of you remember. But one thing that caught my attention, Coca-Cola as a brand. So I am not for sugary drinks. All of you might have watched Arunachalam, right? Where that Vedachalam scene about smoking, how you can do. The first workplace that I went to, we had free soft drinks. You could have as many soft drinks as you wanted. So at that point of time, I went for a toss, and I realized at that point of time I want to avoid sugary drinks. So I only have it here and there. So I always had this negative attribution to soft drinks like that. But at one point of time, 10 years later, I came upon this called Coke Studio, where in YouTube, Coca-Cola is sponsoring musical efforts. A.R. Rahman and other artists who come on and perform, and it's a recorded performance. But that's when my perception of Coca-Cola actually went up. So when brands actually not only focus on their core activities and get into other domains as well, and then start promoting other activities, then it becomes more likable. So to finally conclude, for a brand to become more appealing, it need not be just to be anthropomorphized, but you can also do by good activities. I would also like to clarify one thing for future speakers. In Tamil we say Uyardine Ahirine. Anthropomorphize is for Ahirine. But I find a lot of speakers using it for themselves or other Toastmasters and all those things. It is for an inanimate object or an animal, you give it human traits. With that, thanks, and back to the table topic master.
Thank you for that different perspective. Okay, next, do we have time for one more?
Yes, we have a lot of time.
Hi, Satish. Okay.
He's not Satish.
Roshan.
His mentor is Satish.
Oh. Sorry. Okay. I'm also going to give you a popular brand, Netflix. Netflix is very entertaining, right? What kind of friend it will be on a rainy day? What kind of friend it will be on a rainy day?
Okay, Netflix. So a popular brand that has been very famous after COVID especially, because before COVID we used to go get into the theaters, watch movies, get out, grab popcorn. As times changed, COVID changed, we are now starting to prefer watching movies at home, and Netflix has been one of the most key applications that we use on our TV, on our laptop, on our phones to watch movies on the go. So what kind of a person would Netflix be on a rainy day? Let alone a rainy day, for me, any day, I get back home, a stressed day, a happy day, end up turning on the TV, the first app you use is Netflix. And the amount of series and the amount of movies that are that's present in Netflix, I think that is what wins it for me especially, because you end up being stressed one day, you end up being happy one day, you end up being sad one day, but whatever you are, whatever emotions you tend to feel, I think Netflix is there to comfort you more than anybody else at home, because everybody else ends up being busy, have their own work, but then for you to entertain yourself and for you to feel better. I think Netflix has played a very important role in my life. And if it was a comforting, I think it would be a very comforting person on a rainy day. Give good company. Yeah, thank you.
Just one more person.
Done.
Thank you very much, Table Topics Master. It's engaging those table topics which I think very fantastic. Thank you very much. And why not give a round of applause for Smile? Thank you very much. It's now time for breakfast. No? Even before the breakfast, that's what we have learned. So today we are going to listen to what things can be better in our lives. Yes, please. Before that, please vote for the best table topic speaker.
All of them are for time qualified.
Can you please read out the names so that the people will know? Sit down.
So the first speaker's name is Priya.
Priya.
Speaker's name I'm not sure.
Rashid.
Nasir.
Okay, Nasir. Okay.
Nasir. The third speaker's name is
Anirudh.
The fourth speaker's name is
Roshan. Okay, please vote for the best table topic speaker. Now let's listen to the general evaluator's evaluation. Over to the general evaluator.
So now it's evaluation session, and I will call upon for the second speaker Vinnavan. So the PTM Patabi has already completed his evaluation.
Let him finish.
That's how he said.
Go ahead.
So the first speaker Suganya, let me call upon Hemalata, who is evaluation district contestant. Division is here and he wrote this
2026. Make you forget the evaluation, Hema.
So it was definitely a great speech listening to Suganya for our childhood memories. It was not only the transformation from childhood to adult, she also transferred from the first speech to the second speech. So that was a great transformation. And the speech was so authentic that we were all able to relate our childhood. Most of our childhood were like that, like whatever fighting with a brother, fighting for a window seat, everything happened in our childhood also. So it was so much relatable, it was authentic. And as in a previous speech, she did not rush her speech today. So it was like, she took it in a correct pace, and she was able to give a proper conclusion about her transformation in the message. And she also compared herself with being a fighter for a window seat and being a HR professional, allocating seats to the working professional now. And she also compared herself like a brother who was comparing herself with who was a partner in crime earlier. She compared her brother was comparing to Swarnaka, where like she also tried humor. So comparison also brought humor in this. And for you to go to the next level of your speech, I would give few suggestions. So you started a speech saying that like few days back I gave this speech. Instead, you could have given a proper introduction about your childhood, saying that like this is what happened, this is how I started. And smiling during the speech is like actually good, but you were laughing throughout the speech, which was a bit distracting. And instead of laughing, you could have actually smiled during the speech. That would have had a more impact on it. Multiple R's were used. You did not use as in the previous speech, but like multiple R's in the speech were used. So that could have been avoided. And in the previous speech, you had constant body movement. To avoid that, you restricted in the same place. You did not move at all. Instead, you could have used the staging, saying that like in my childhood, in my college with Priscilla, and whenever like I was in my workplace. So stage movement could have been used. So overall it was a great speech where it was very much authentic and proper conclusion was there and comparison with humor was given. Suggestion is like You could have given a different introduction, laughing could be avoided, and hours, multiple hours could have been avoided. And bit of stage movement would have brought this speech to the next level. Thank you. Over to you, General.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For the third speaker, Arvind Raja, we call upon evaluator DTM Sundararaman, who is having 40 years of experience in oil and gas and IT industries.
So you all made him not appreciate Nema now. You would have started appreciating Nema. He will always say, I know everything.
No, that's how he reacted. When people started, it's completed. That's how his hand went.
We are making all evaluators forget.
So good morning Toastmasters and guests. Today I am happy to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Arvind Raja, who gave an inspirational speech. Inspirational speech is a speech where at the end of the speech, audience get automatically inspired even when the speaker is not giving a call for action. So primarily here the speaker has to start about himself or the other person. Starting the beginning of the speech, the person will be at the status A, and at the end he will be moving on to status B. Right? So he has to tell the process how the person transformed from status A to status B, and that is how the audience get inspired. So for which the very first essential element is you have to put yourself in vulnerable mode. Right? So I think that is what done by Arvind Raja. He said that I was not having a global picture and I was taking everything seriously. So the moment he said these vulnerable aspects, the entire audience, I believe, would have felt that yes, he is also one amongst he is also like one of us. Right? Everyone would have felt on the same plane. So that is fantastic aspect. The second aspect I liked in your speech was you are very natural and you are not nervous and you are so comfortable in meeting the eye contact of the people and delivering it. But since this is a vital project, inspirational project, I have 3 recommendations. Number 1, so you used a lot of jargons, so which is always happening when you are subject matter expert. So you are a financial subject matter expert and you assume that everyone knows all the jargons. You use the word material cost. So probably many of us would not be knowing what is the meaning of material cost. Second, you used the term called global controller. Right? So again, you could have explained these basic functionalities, jargons, number 1. The second thing is you could have made a little bit of specifics. So only when you are specific, when you tell the name of the person, name of a place or name of a company, audience will be able to connect with you. For example, you could have mentioned about your company's name of your boss. That you would have brought some kind of bond within the audience. And the number 3 is, as I said, from point A to point B. So what was your learning? So after connecting the dots, you said that I should focus, I should have more global overview, and I should not depend on brooding over, take everything on personal front. So today, what state you have received? So if you have clearly mentioned, today I have a global vision, and today I am executing all my projects with such kind of global vision. If you had reiterated, that would have been a great lesson. So I think otherwise it was a fantastic inspirational project. Next time, to sum up, next time when you give such special speeches, try to ensure what is the particular speciality that is needed for that project and ensure that it is delivered. Over to you.
So let me call upon Toastmaster Karthik to evaluate the 4th speaker's speech, Satish Kumar. And Karthik, to deliver Karthik. Go for a longer duration. Many people in Caterpillar joins Toastmaster and the Toastmaster enrollment number is increasing only because of this.
Why not in Meraki?
Yeah. Maybe I am one of the guys who joined.
First of all, Satish did a fabulous job of anthropomorphizing the flight aircraft into his speech as an emotion. And I will also try to anthropomorphize the evaluation with respect to the same metaphorical connection. I really love the way you started with this metaphorical connection of something which is not human and you bring that connection emotionally to it. Fabulous job. And the second thing I really loved is when you go to aircraft and it is running at 5,000, 6,000 RPM, the engine is running at 5,000, 6,000 RPM, and when you are sitting inside, you will never feel like you are in that kind of turbulence. You are really comfortable, cozy. And that's how Satish was throughout the speech. He was really comfortable, confident, and cozy in his delivery. The way he was wonderful, I really loved it. And the third thing is the writing. Most of the time when we write, we don't bring connection. What he did is the heart, it is not about the baggage, the heart felt that baggage. And then there are a lot of places he sprinkled that in his speech. Keeping this good points aside, and what are all things can be improved in his speech? When we go to airport, we go to a lot of counters will be there, a lot of shops will be there. We go, see, look at the price and come. Similarly, in this message, I don't see, I really love the message. Everything is fancy, but the message is ego and love. All you need to do is say sorry. Maybe what you did this in a structure is when ego departs, love arrives. Maybe that would have brought that message is ego and love that was not quite evident throughout the speech. And the next thing is, as an audience, when I'm sitting here, most of the time in aircraft, there's two wonderful ladies or three wonderful ladies standing in the queue and say, this is a, nobody pays attention. Okay? As an audience, when you are speaking about the speech, sometimes you need to include the audience. You would have also done this sometime if you are in a hurry in the morning, you would have done this. You would have spilled the beans, or not spilled the beans, you would have hurt your wife or something. Maybe you should include the audience. I will also be, yes, you are right, Satish. I have also done that. For me, it has happened to you, okay, so what? So that is the feel like that. Okay, we include the audience, not like someone who did this. Overall, the way you metaphorically connected to the speech was fabulous and the writing was good. All I want you to do is bring in depth in your structure and the message. Like when ego departs, love arrives. That is what your message is. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now it's time for the tag role players to come in and provide the reports. First, let me call on voting
for the
Most evaluator.
All evaluators are time qualified. So the first evaluator is Team Himlata, second is DDM Pattavi, third is DDM Sundaraman, fourth is DDM Karthik.
Yep. So let me call upon timer Bharat to provide his timing reports for this complete prepared speeches and the rest of it.
So pretty much everyone is qualified, but I feel that one way to stick within the time limit is probably pause effectively and maybe speak slowly if you feel like you're going too fast. Team Vinavan did not qualify, agonizingly close, 4 minutes 29 seconds. So we might have to work on that. For the rest, it's pretty much in the same, in the 5 to 7, 2 to 3, 1 to 2 minutes. And also for DTM Satish Kumar, you were also quite close, 4 minutes 43 seconds. So with the grace you qualified. So that's about it.
Give a detail.
So you want
Or
the timings?
Yes. All speakers.
Okay. Prepared speaker 1, Suganya, 5 minutes 43 seconds. TM Vinavan, 4 minutes 29 seconds. TM Arvind Raja, 5 minutes 26 seconds. The management book review, 6 minutes 34 seconds. The evaluators, TM Hemlata, 2 minutes 35 seconds, DTM Patabi, 3 minutes 3 seconds, DTM Sundararaman, 3 minutes, DTM Karthik, 3 minutes 5 seconds, and for the table topic speakers, TM Priya, 1 minute 54 seconds, Nasir, 1 minute 29 seconds, TM Anirudh, 2 minutes 14 seconds, and Roshan, 1 minute 34 seconds.
Thank you. So let me call upon our counter Srividya to provide a report.
Stay there and give handshake. As a gentle evaluator for you, this is the feedback.
Yeah.
So, let me start with people who had grudge words. MDR management representative Narasimhan things was his grudge words, and how he used was with any word he just extended his arm for a lot of words. The speaker, one Sukanya, you did use a lot of you knows, and you did use a lot of R's as well. Vinaman also used a lot of R's. Arvind had a lot of purposeful pauses, so that was good. Satish also had a lot of purposeful pauses. Himalata had some purposeful pauses, and you also used a lot of source. Karthik also had a lot of purposeful pauses. The TM, the table topics. Nasir, your catchword was things. You used a lot of things in your speech. The others are not so significant. Roshan used a few you knows and a few odds.
Now let me call upon grammarian Toastmaster Anirudh to provide us a grammarian report for this complete session. Thank you.
Good morning once again. First, I'll get into, I'll address the elephant in the room. How many of you actually really understood the word of the day? All of you applauded. The Toastmaster of the day forced you to applaud for the word of the day and all initially, but how many of you really understood anthropomorphized? Excellent. So, before we get into, so I found a lot of usages. But
is it same as personification?
Very similar, very similar. So, I found a lot of usages, but I didn't find correct usages. So as a grammarian, I'm not going to attribute. But here is something that before we get into the not so good usages and good usages about the word of the day, because it's on everyone's head, right? Everyone is thinking about it. I would like to propose for Meraki being an advanced club using figure of speeches. So even if you cannot use anthropomorphize in your speech, if you know the meaning, you can use examples of anthropomorphize in your speech. Say for example, we can take a figure of speech like a simile, metaphor, anthropomorphization in every club meeting, and as grammarian we can record that as well. Now what are some examples? This part should be easy to understand, especially when you want to describe a lot of natural activities. You would have found examples. The wind was howling. The wind slapped my face. The wind cannot literally slap you, right? But you give it human attributes and all those things. You call it howling when the wind is too loud. Clap of thunder. The thunder is clapping. So again, a lot of the sun smiled from behind the clouds. The sun cannot smile. The sun kissed my face. So here are some examples where you might not be able to use the word anthropomorphize, but as an example of anthropomorphization, you can use these examples. So like that, we can take up some figure of speech for every meeting, and the grammarian can note down those usages as well, in addition to the word of the day is a proposal that I have. Now, I believe in, let us get into the good usages and not your good usages. I believe in attributing positives to people and all of us learning from the collectives of not so good. So I'll be only giving the names of those who used creative usages. So Toastmaster Bharat has excellent vocabulary. He used piece of history, decipher, chatter, guardrails, time and tide. Distinguished Toastmaster Sundararaman used distinction, emotional granularity, non-intimidating. I'm not getting into the explanations, we can discuss this post-meeting as well. Distinct Toastmaster Manikandan used skeptical. The Toastmaster Gopinath used burning fire. Toastmaster Narasimharaju used success comes by doing things sequentially, not simultaneously. I'll enjoy that. Toastmaster Sugani again used a lot of interesting words. Bratty, partner in crime, pay the price, defaulter. Toastmaster Vindavan used break the loop. Toastmaster Aravind used gone up through the roof. Distinguished Toastmaster Satish used heavy baggage in my heart, turbulence, embraced, placard, cling to his arms. Distinguished Toastmaster Pattabi had again lot of interesting usages, content clarity, coherence, beacon, memorability, proceed, exceed, succeed. Again, as grammarian, I wanted to note on these kind of usages as well, in addition to just the words alone. Health went for a toss, I used that. Distinguished Toastmaster Karthik used cozy in delivery, ego departs, love arrives. Again, as timer, Toastmaster Bharat used agonizingly close. That shows how close they are, 1 second off, right? I think that was excellent usage. Now, what we will do in not so good usages, I've been attending a lot of meetings, but I feel we are not able to correct ourselves from the not so good usages because we do not understand the why. Oh, you're saying something is wrong and this is how it has to be used, but why was my usage wrong? I'm not an expert here, so let us all collaboratively understand what you think was the issue. So it could be tense, it could be negative usage and all those things. We'll get into examples. You like to be. The usage was in the future you like to be. What do you think was missing over here? The word would, excellent. You would like to be, that implies the future. Responsibilities is to. His responsibilities is to. Excellent. Are, plural usage. So again, if you understand the real meaning of this, we'll know more. Every other thing become easier. Every other thing become easier. Excellent. Again, plural usage. If you look at all these things, only two or three are commonly used. If you can take care of all of these, we can take. Every other thing becomes easier. Again, this was pointed out by the R-counter, but the word thing in that speaker speech could have been replaced by activity, exercise. What are the different many activities, many exercises instead of many things, one thing, that sort of thing. Okay, what do you think is incorrect here? Scrolling the Instagram. What is incorrect according to you?
Scrolling the screen.
Okay, scrolling the screen. In context of Instagram, what would you use? Scrolling through, okay, is fine. Scrolling Instagram, there's no the. So what is, many of you are excellent grammarians in the audience, what is an example of?
Emphasizes.
No, I'm asking in English grammar, article. The is a and the, in that you don't use the. I came to the meeting. Oh, that meeting is implied. I came to Meraki's meeting. You don't say I came to the Meraki meeting. Like generally you avoid the before those proper nouns. So it's scrolling Instagram. So one usage was I caught red-handed. I think the speaker was implying correctly, but they got a little nervous. I caught red-handed is you catching someone, police catching the thief. But in that scenario, you were being caught. I was caught red-handed, I got caught red-handed. A lot of times I feel this is again, I'm not sure how it fits into grammar role. We sometimes go above and beyond in trying to polish some words. The word over here today I will say I have watched the Dhul movie and I think it is Swarna Aka, not Swarna Aka. So that is something that I felt refining unnecessarily, especially when the character is thug in that movie.
Because to align with our name.
So what you are saying very naughty to me since it was
So you will be all here also. So
So doesn't come like just like that. So
Why still I need to do something? What was the usage? What do you think is wrong here? I believe it is structure. Why do I still need to do? Why still I need? I believe it comes from literally translating or transliterating Tamil words into English directly. So I believe languages differ in the grammatical structure also. So that's why we say why still I need to do something instead of why do I still need to do something. So over here, generally if you combine past tense and English is a funny language, these rules are arbitrary. How to came was how to come in that usage. This is something I'm myself not very sure of. I've written it down anyway. Myself and my boss. So usually I think
boss and I.
so if you remove the and boss, if you remove, how will you use I came, I went here, I went there. You don't say myself went there, myself went here. So that is how I try to think of this. So my boss and I think is the correct usages. I think there were some over enthusiastic English teachers in our school who kept correcting this I to myself. So I believe we have learned incorrectly.
I remember one way my teacher used to say, put the donkey at the last.
Put the donkey at last.
Because when
my daughter says this. Put the donkey at last.
So as speakers we want to emphasize a lot, but I find one word to be incorrectly used, the word literally. One speaker used literally in shambles. It is, you are trying to say I was in shambles. It's whatever in your head you are feeling wrecked, but literally in shambles is to be actually on the floor. So we use the word literally a lot to emphasize while we actually do not mean literally. What did it taught me?
Teach.
Yes, so what it taught me or what did it teach me? The past tense is already conveyed by the word did. So then you have to say teach or what it taught me. I think those are all the incorrect usages or improvements. Thank you all for contributing to how we can learn better.
So now it's time to vote for the best tag role player. I request you all to vote for the best tag role player.
Go ahead. Your report. Your report.
To all the fellow Toastmasters, now the report is like I'm trying to give what has been observed in this 2 hours time frame. So the meeting has exactly started a minute before it was supposed to start. So it is at 6:59 it has started. And I was talking to Karthi like, so and he said like that is a specialty of Meraki.
Don't believe.
And the second good point which I observed is like the TMOD for the day is right. He has run the meeting very nicely from start to end. So his mannerism, like he makes the situation very comfort with all the people. Whoever is calling for prescribing about someone who is in all the situation, he made things better. And the second thing which I observed is like the tag role player. So generally tag role players give their timing and come to report in a very professional way, but it might be observed or it might not be get connected easily to rest of the team here, right? So what I observed is what the tag role player Anirudh did, right? So he's done a very fantastic job today and explaining what can be done correct. That is one good thing which I observed as one of the good things that has happened today. and he explained about what could have been done better for each and every person's statement, right? He has done that. So that is one of the best things. And the third point which I observed is like the two speakers, Aravind Raja as well as Satish's speech was really fantastic, and Satish has made like emotional connect in his the way he explained the complete speech, and it has made me to connect with some movies as well. And now comes the cons of this particular meeting. The table topic session would have given some more opportunity to it's restricted to 4 members or 5 members today. It could have been much better by giving for 6 or 7 members, so that we can give much more opportunity to this. And the second con is like this is the first time I am doing the general evaluator role, and while introducing the tag role players or any role players, right, I would have get their introduction well before sometime, so that I can introduce them in a very proper manner. So I have to rectify this mistake the next time. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
You on stage. Give you a big round of applause. Because you are doing the first time. Wonderful job. Keep it up. And today's meeting has been a breeze of a meeting, and I believe the charm of Meraki is really picking up fast, because every single step which we take forward definitely will take us forward, and I definitely enjoyed the meeting. So my dear friends, to conclude, if you want to be the best, any best thing, a sound, if it is made better, it becomes music. A movement which is, if it is improved upon on a daily basis, it becomes a dance. A smile, if you keep improving your smile, it becomes a laughter. And if your life could improve, it is a celebration. So let's celebrate each and every moment of our life. All the very best, and let me hand it over to the presiding officer of the day. So thank you so much.
Now please vote for the best role player, TMOD Gopinath, General Evaluator Suresh, Table Topic Master Durga. Yeah. Please vote for the best role player, and Sergeant Thomas to collect all the ballots and consolidate. So today I am extremely happy. The reason is actually there is no change in the agenda, right? All role players turned up in time, and we were able to go in a very seamless fashion. Fantastic job by all role players. I think all of you deserve a big round of applause. Second thing is what I liked is attendance. So we had 20 plus members, and even at the end of the meeting we have around 80 people here. I think the crowd is always good to see for any speaker on stage. Fantastic job. And third thing, as I mentioned in the beginning, I think many of you started bringing guests. So please do so. So going forward, at least bring one guest, and let's try to convert them into members in the coming days. So now it's time for the listening quiz. So in Meraki, we also give a lot of importance for listening. Listening is a very critical aspect of being a great communicator. To start with, I have 5 questions, and there are 5 topics. And if a question is from a particular speech, that respective speaker and respective evaluator will not answer the question. If you know the answer, don't shout out. Just raise your hand, and I will randomly pick one of you. And this person who gets the topic will not be eligible for getting the second. The first question. So in the table topic speech, Anand was talking about Coca-Cola. Apart from selling drinks, what was the one initiative that made Coca-Cola different?
Coca-Cola studio.
Can you be a little more specific?
I mean, there was a studio where like Raman music, everything was free.
Okay, I will give it to you, but the name is Coke Studio. Correct, Coke Studio. So you can go and witness many wonderful songs in YouTube, Coke Studio. Then the second question, in Arvind Raja's speech, he was talking about the cost, material cost, and he was talking about different regions. What was the percentage of cost for APAC region?
10%.
Yes.
10%, that's right. third one will be simple. I need to identify the first person who raises the hand. Who was the small girl who was beaten by Ghostbusters? Suganya. Priscilla is the Okay, the fourth question. So it is from management perspective. Initially, I thought it was written by twin authors because the name of the author was so long, and already Toastmaster of the day mentioned the third and the fourth name. No, not you. You cannot raise it. My question is, what were the first two words of the author? Not you. You.
I don't know.
I thought you reviewed. Yeah. No, that is the third and fourth name. First two names. Even if you say one of the names, I will give it to you.
Can you repeat the question? Context of the question.
Author of the book has got 4 names. A single author has got 4 names.
Is it not 2 authors?
2 authors. 2 authors. Okay, then the question is first author's name. First author. Yes.
Gary Keller.
No, Gary Keller already revealed. I said.
Papa's son.
Some Indian name.
Papa's son.
J. Papa's son. The third one is going to be a weird.
So what is the answer?
J. Papasan. J. Papasan. Jaypapasal. So I request all the MBA book reviewers to spell out the names clearly, or even you can bring and show the book. So last time also I asked the same question which was reviewed by many people could not answer. So please spell out the name of the author so that people can Google and find out. Then the last one is going to be a slightly weird quiz. The objective of the general evaluator is to observe the entire proceedings. How many of you observe the general evaluator? So right now, okay. What kind of glass he was wearing? So was it full rimless or with a frame?
Half frame. Half frame.
Semi-rimless.
I met him before 3 months.
How is this listening?
Observation.
So probably not only speech, you should have feedback.
They are teammates, right?
No, yeah. Okay. So let's get down to the feedback. Let's hear from the guest. Nazir, can you come over here and give a feedback about today's session? Yeah. And you should spell out your name clearly. We could not hear their names.
My name is actually Mohammad Nasiruddin. So since it is very long, so people calling me short. And in fact, I never turn back to people who call me with shorter name, because that's what the attitude I had during my school and college. So if in case people they call me with my name only, then I turn back. If in case they call me with short terms, like I had very attitude boss. My grandfather has kept me something which I really wanted to call up. And then I realized this is actually not even fitting into so many forms that government gives in. I had to take extra space to write my name. So I thought let me make it short. So obviously people will make it easier for them. So my name is Nasir. It is Naseer. So Nasir. So I found this very happy moment because I am a kind of guy who does things in the early morning. So my routine starts off from 4:30 actually. So I wake up at 4:30 and I have my prayers at 5:15. It depends on the sunrise. So then my day starts. So usually when I go to sessions or I do stuff at 7 o'clock, people say boss, 7 o'clock, who wakes up in the morning? So that's what the kind of attitude I had from people. But when Suganya said that it is going to be at 7 o'clock, I said wonderful, yes, I'm going to meet some people of my minded. So that's what the intention I had. Yeah. So whenever I go talk to people at 7 o'clock in the morning, they ask me what did you really eat? So our breakfast is at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's how routine starts. I said, boss, I have my complete routine. I am blessed with 2 kids, but my wife is blessed with 3 kids. So I'm one of those 3 kids. So
I'll use
so I usually do that. So that's how I felt, and it was like very happy. I was really happy, and I'm really honored to be here. And in fact, I was very curious about Satish and this pair because his speech was like really connected to me. And in fact, I was like very curious enough in understanding how is he going to be evaluated, because as an audience, I was like really impressed and I was like really moved. Can somebody be, as he said, like can somebody be with the turbulence with 6,000, 5,000 RPM? How can somebody think of like love and all those stuff? Because I would be like, boss, when are you going to land safe? Because I'll have to move. Because like do not know how it is going to crash. I'll be calculating if in case I go die, like my wife would really get this because the kind of insurance what I take is the first one. So I always take insurance and ask that guy, boss, don't tell me what is going to happen. Imagine if in case I die, what my wife has to do. You tell me the documentation first, because after talking to her, I'll go talk to my wife. I'll tell her like, if in case I die, don't like try for only 2 days. Third day you'll have to do all these things. So only then you'll be happy after the life. So that's what I usually do. I'm a kind of very practical guy. So when this guy said, I was like very keen in understanding like how is he going to be evaluated. But when this guy came in and he said like few things which was like quite surprising. Oh, can this also be like a kind of evaluation? Yes, what this guy said, it was acceptable, it was fact. Yes, I really appreciate you for that. Yeah, thank you so much guys, it was nice having you.
Small recommendation to VP Education, starting next meeting, please ask the timer to stay back and show the cards for everyone for the feedback. Number two, we will also have an award for the best feedback. Right, we would like to listen from Abhilash, though he joined a little late, so the rest of the session did he enjoy?
Abhilash.
So this meeting, you attended partially, right? Would you like to share something there? Okay. I don't want to embarrass. So Abhilash, what is your experience? Roshan, sorry. Share your experience with Meraki.
Okay, so not a new stage to me, but one thing that is different, what Nasir sir said, early mornings, he finds it very, engaging, but not so much for me. I used to attend Medley Cable Club meetings on Sunday afternoons from 2:30. So the transition from 2:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning is, a heck of a routine for me because I'm basically doing my first year in mechanical engineering at Rajalakshmi Engineering College. So not in Chennai, so-called Chennai, but not in Chennai. So I get up at 6 o'clock every morning to go catch the bus. And Saturdays, Sundays are off, and it is, a transition to wake up on a Saturday morning again and come attend this meeting. But as much as it is, I found it very rewarding. I was really happy to be here. I really enjoyed the meeting, especially the last quiz session, and I think it's a part of growing up from attending meetings at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon to attending it at 7 in the morning. I think that's what getting older does to you. So I was happy being here and hope to see you also. Thank you.
Thank you. Today members, today one of our members is completing a milestone project. I request him to come here. Let him come and sit, and then we will stand up and then give a standing ovation. Arvind Raja, please come over here. So he is completing his level 3. Yeah, I think all of us will give a standing ovation. It will be a slightly awkward moment, but we have to get accustomed to that. So it is time to give the certificates for the award winners. The best tag role player goes to Toastmaster Anirudh. The best role player goes to Toastmaster on the day Toastmaster Gopinath. Yes, best debate topic speaker goes to guest Roshan. The best evaluator goes to distinguished Toastmaster Karthik Vandas. The best speaker goes to Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Kumar Subramanian. So actually our next meeting is supposed to happen on 22nd November, but 22nd November we have our district semi-annual conference happening in Coimbatore. Unfortunately, I am not coming there this time. I think many of us from Meraki they are leaving, so if still registration is available, please avail and then attend a session at Coimbatore. So that will be a fantastic experience. Our next meeting is going to happen next week. District contestant. Karthik. So Karthik would be representing the evaluation, right? Evaluation, but not representing Meraki. He is a dual member in another club. He representing another club. He is going to represent, and still all our best wishes to our next meeting is going to happen next Saturday. So we have just a week. Probably we may come out with a different format. So we may not have the regular prepared speeches kind of stuff. The ExCom will discuss and then come back. So let me adjourn meeting number 233.